Okay, let's just dive right in. Look, we all have access to tools like ChatGPT, right? But the real question is, are we actually getting the most out of them? Today, we're going to transform that tool from, a simple Q&A machine into a powerful, creative partner for your social media. It's time to engineer some results.
So have you ever asked an AI for a social post and gotten something, well, kind of boring? On the left, that's what you get when you just say, write a post about coffee. It's fine, I guess. But on the right, that's what happens when you get specific and ask for a witty caption for a sleepy Monday morning audience. The difference is night and day. We're here to get rid of that generic robotic feel, what I like to call the AI smell.
So let's talk about this. This is the core issue. Why does so much of the content that comes out of AI just feel flat? Predictable, and just a little bit off. It's a super common frustration, but believe it or not, the fix is actually way simpler than you might think.
It all comes down to one fundamental rule: garbage in, garbage out. You have to think of the AI as a perfect, almost literal mirror of your instructions. If you give it vague, lazy prompts, you're always going to get back generic, robotic content. So the crucial takeaway here is that the power to get amazing results isn't really in the AI itself. It's in how you instruct it.
Okay, so how do we give it better instructions? Well, we need to shift our thinking. We move from just asking simple questions to actively engineering our prompts. This right here is the leap from amateur to pro. This table breaks down the 3 essential ways to prompt. Now, most of us start with zero shot. That's just a direct request with zero context. But the real magic, the pro-level stuff, happens with the other 2. Few shot, where you actually give it a few examples of what you want, and role-based, where you tell the AI to act as a witty copywriter or a marketing genius. That is how you unlock professional quality content.
All right, let's get even more practical. Knowing how to prompt is great, but having specific formulas for specific tasks, that's an absolute game changer. So let's look at 2 really powerful frameworks for creating content that actually gets seen. First up, probably the most common request out there, a social media caption. We've all been there, right? Staring at that blank text box, the cursor just blinking at you. So how do you consistently get something that's on brand, that's engaging, and that has a clear call to action? You use the CTC formula. It is so simple and so effective. C is for context. You tell the AI what's going on. T is for task. Be super clear about what you want it to do. And the other C is for constraint. This is the secret sauce. Give it rules. Max 50 words. No hashtags. Use a funny tone. Include a question. This is a perfect example of how adding structure leads to precision.
Okay, so captions are one thing, but what about the absolute beast that is short-form video? Scripting a reel or a TikTok can feel totally overwhelming. How do you go from a simple idea to a structured script that's actually ready to film?
You use the viral video framework. It's a simple 3-step process. First, ask the AI for 5 pattern interrupt hooks. Those are lines designed specifically to stop someone from scrolling. Second, you, the human, pick the one you like the best. And third, you ask for a 2-column script based on that hook, which breaks everything down into visuals on one side and audio on the other. It just turns a really complex task into a simple procedure.
Now listen up, because this might be the single most important part of this whole process. You can have the best prompts and formulas in the world, but AI is a partner, a co-pilot. It is not a replacement. That final polish, that human touch, is completely non-negotiable.
Part of that polish is getting rid of the AI smell by banning some of these overused words. AI just loves words like revolutionize, delve, unleash, and my personal favorite, tapestry. And why? Well, it's because its training data is just flooded with formal, corporate, and academic writing. It thinks that's how we want to sound. So your first editing job is to go on a search and destroy mission for these words and replace them with something a real human would say.
And the final polish goes even deeper. Weave in a personal story, a really specific fact about your brand, or a unique detail that only you would know. And this is crucial. Always check for factual accuracy. AI can, and it does, hallucinate, which is a fancy way of saying it just makes stuff up. Never hit publish without a human eye making sure the facts are straight. So, what does this all mean? It means your role has completely shifted. You're not just an operator anymore, just typing in commands. You are the editor-in-chief. You're the one setting the strategy. You're guiding the creative, and you have the final say on everything. We've covered a ton of ground here,
We've gone from asking basic questions to engineering prompts, using specific formulas, and then applying that critical final human polish. This isn't just a list of tips. It's a whole new workflow for creating content.
So, the question I'm going to leave you with is this. You now have the tools and, more importantly, the mindset to go way beyond generic content. You can start engineering posts that truly connect with people and actually perform. So, what are you going to create first?